But look, we'll just stay there. Just have it on here, and we'll talk from the sides. Because
No. You two are most important too.
You're very photogenic.
No, you're very important. You're better looking than us, so you should stay in the middle there.
Yeah, girl.
And we'll we'll stick our hands out a little
You
bit.
do look good on the video.
Yeah, they want to see you. They don't want to see us.
Hello, Mega Love. Shout out. Happy Thursday. Come on in. 1 million in the house. So today, again, we have two guests, which are my husband and our friend Al, which gonna be every other Thursday. They're gonna be my guests.
That means we're off next Thursday, Al.
Oh, okay. Well, we're working on the next show.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll share our live.
This is my right arm. Enjoy. Oh. That's a big hand.
I know. It's like the Colossal Man. Remember that movie?
You know, they say, Al.
Yeah, big hands.
Big hands, small mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's like It's like the Amazing Colossal Man. It's like the hand comes in there with.
You do this, you go.
Joy.
Good morning, sis. EFS in Vlog. Thank you so much, sis, for tuning in. So again, we have our two boys in our live stream. And later on, I'm going to work, but I have to do my live stream for like an hour. It's not going to be long. Thank you so much for the time, for tuning in here. 2 million in the house. Mega Love shout out. And we're going to share our live to our other friends. We're live.
I really wonder how much I could get for this one. I don't
Good morning to you, sis.
I wish I could make some money from it. It's a rare piece. Rare, man.
I know, but it's nice to have. But you can't keep it forever.
Yeah. Well, you're saying, I thought you were saying I couldn't get any money for it.
Something fell out of it.
Ball bearings.
It might be silver.
I thought you were saying, no, you couldn't get it right there. I could. Not in perfect shape. It's only 4 years younger than me. That makes it.
Oh.
Are we live?
Yeah, we are live.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were
We
live.
have 1 million in the house now, which is Missy Esipin Vlog. She's a YouTuber from the Philippines, and her content, she does live almost every day, says Esipin Vlog, right? And she sing on her live stream.
We can sing too.
So that's my husband once again. My light is kind of in the way, like that, and it's still like 6:42 in the afternoon, close to nighttime now, but there's still light outside. As you can see, my background, that's our outside there. We are in the middle of vegetation.
We're in the woods, as they
Al has
say.
to go back
That's
to the big
Alval.
house.
Hello. There you go.
There you go.
All right.
And later we're gonna work. That's life. But right now we're just gonna talk about what's going on in our life. So my husband and Alval will talk about their travels.
And the troubles too.
They've been traveling since they were, young.
Oh boy.
We're not going back that far. We're just talking about
Sige.
Southwest Florida.
We should talk about our trip to the convention too, but some other show maybe.
Yeah, this is just going to take too long.
So my husband, he will be in the center, and then I will be the moderator in my live stream.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you guys are gonna talk about,
Okay, let's get to it.
All right.
So.
But we're going to have a camera now.
Yeah, we have that camera.
You're going to be sitting there the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on here.
I was not even in the picture.
That's okay. I can
almost
talk
right here.
outside the
Close
picture.
by. I'm in the middle.
Stuck in the middle.
I'm in
You
the
gotta
middle.
come in now.
Come closer,
I
Alva.
count too big. Okay, there you
You're
go.
too big. I thought we were doing like we did last time.
Okay. No, that's
Someday
okay. That's
we're gonna
okay.
buy a big screen, so that way all of us will fit in one screen. So, you guys been traveling for how
Well,
many years?
This what brought it up was this past Sunday, which was 5 days ago now. You and me and our son Drake
Mm-hmm.
went to. You wanted something to do. I said, okay, well, pull some out of my hat or somewhere else, and it was Tarpon Springs, which is a bit.
Which excuse me. Which, by the way, I have a coming up videos about that place. It's kind of short video, but at least you guys will know what we're talking about.
Well, anyway, Tarpon Springs is close to the Gulf of Mexico, which makes it quite westerly in the body of the landmass of Florida. So you're a bit north of Tampa and west, close to the Gulf of Mexico. Al, now let me just say this about Tarpon Springs quickly.
Thank you so much, Ning. Okay.
It was always known as a Greek village because it was, I think, back in the 1870s or 1880s. I don't know how this really came about, but people with Greek background, Greek heritage, names like Pharisopoulos, that sort of thing, they settled that area and they went out into the Gulf and they harvested sponges,
Oh.
which they still do, but to a much lesser degree. And the way to harvest the sponges, apparently, especially in the old days, was you get a guy, not in a diving suit, but in a one of those heavy suits like you see in the old movies with the spaceman helmet and the heavy boots, and they would walk along and pluck them off the ocean floor.
Mm.
They're very expensive. The real sponges are very expensive. And I guess it's still a relatively lucrative business, but
Yeah, it's
anyway, I heard. Anyway, as far as our little experience, it was not great because, unknown to us, last Sunday,
Easter, right?
Whatever it was, it was the Greek Orthodox Church Easter, 1 week after the mainstream Easter. So it was probably more busy than it normally would be on a Sunday. And I think we were all tired. We wanted to try some Greek food, but the Greek restaurants were very busy. It looked like it was going to be an hour wait, and I was starving. I wasn't up for that. So we dropped off at a Mexican restaurant. I do know the name of it, but I'll do them a favor and not mention it.
That good, huh?
The food was horrific, terrible.
Mm.
So we keep having not all of them, but mostly poor experiences at legitimate sit-down restaurants lately. I'm sorry, our last 10 meals out, we've had about 2 good and 8 bad. Just, I don't know what's happened to the restaurant business, but it's not been very, the food has been inferior and overpriced.
Yeah.
The service has been usually mediocre. This time the service was horrific, and the food was terrible.
Jeez.
But other than that, and it was
a long trip to get there.
It was relatively expensive. It was just bad.
Was it a nice area? I mean, was it pretty there?
It was just a tourist trap, really. I would like to go there again when it's a more relaxed atmosphere and maybe the weather is cooler. We'll book a trip on one of the boats, go out, see how they used to do whatever, and have some real Greek food. We didn't have any Greek food. So we'll try it next time.
And it was a 3-hour ride, right? To get
there. I had forgotten how congested 41 and even worse, Highway 41, and then you from Highway 41 you turn
I sleep throughout the travel.
And
you're tired.
You push further west, then you hit 19.
Does 41 turn into 19?
No, you got to turn off of 41.
41, okay. All right.
Unless it does later down the road. But 19, it's a very congested road. Stop and go, red lights, all that bad stuff.
Yeah, well, we were talking before. I know 19 well. I used to go there every other week to do like podcasts. We used to go from St. Petersburg all the way down to like 19, and then take it 19 all the way north from St. Petersburg all the way to, what was it, Port Richey?
Newport Richey.
Newport Richey, yeah. So it was like about an hour from my buddy's
From where
house
you used
to
to
get
live
there.
out.
From where I used to live, it was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
From when my buddy lived, it was only an hour to get there. But yeah, you're right. You go straight to the further down you go south, it gets nicer.
Well, where you used to live was what was it?
Largo.
Congested, but really a very nice, lot of super nice neighborhoods, a lot of well-to-do people there.
And then in the other part, there was also.
I remember when I visited you one time, just after Christmas. Boy, there was a ton of beautifully decorated homes.
Yeah, remember that?
Wonderful. It's just about as good as any area I've ever seen for Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas decorations.
Yeah, it was nice there.
It was terrific.
But I mean, I remember I would drive from my house to get to Don's house, and that would be 25 minutes, and then we would take that up there, and then we would stop and eat or stop at a comic shop, and then we would talk about comics. And then when we're done with that, we'd go to another comic shop and buy more comics or cheap comics, and then drive back and then eat somewhere. So I would leave my house at noon, get to Don's at 12:30, get there like about 2, do a podcast for about 3 hours. Go
3 hours? They were that long?
Well, there would be a break. Yeah, there would be a break in between. We would talk, and there would be a break.
I did guest star on just one episode.
You did do one. Yeah. It was my house, right?
It was fun at your house, yeah.
Then we would go out and go to the other comic shop, look for the dollar books, and then drive back. I wouldn't get home till 8. So it was a day.
So you leave from at what time? Noon, and come back at 8?
Yeah, we get back by 8.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to leave the house at 9 a.m. and come back at 4 a.m. But I wasn't looking for comics necessarily.
Yeah, well, whatever. I don't know what you were doing, but I'm sure it was.
I was hazed and crazed.
But you knew every part of the town, right?
I used to know in southeast Florida now,
Yeah.
I used to know very well Homestead to Palm Beach. That's a hell of a long.
Jesus.
Lot of.
I never knew Homestead or Palm Beach.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, when we were young, we used to take not road trips. We used to drive around Fort Lauderdale.
You and I.
And listening to music, and then maybe stop at a record store when they had record stores, and I don't know about comic shops. They were closed, and just kind of like listen to CDs, and then not CDs. What I'm saying, cassettes.
Cassettes, yeah.
Cassettes back then, and then just stop and get something to eat, and then and that would take about 3 or 4 hours.
It just occurred to me. I don't know why it just occurred to me, but this is a little bit off the beaten path because this is not supposed to be a music episode.
Right.
But, everything flows. It's just whatever we care about. But, something about I turned you on to a lot of music and you turned me on to a lot of music.
Right.
Interesting.
And then every once in a while we would find something that we both didn't know, and we would go, "Oh, this is really cool!" Like a Big Star's third album or whatever.
Right.
You guys have good memories, as a friends.
We do have good memories. Short-term memory is not so good for me anymore, but long-term memory is okay.
Yeah, we've been pals since 1985.
Yeah.
So that's a long.
We worked for the same guy for a little while, and then we got both fired at the same day. Remember that? I got fired first.
Why? What
I don't know,
happened?
because I think he liked Chris better, and then Chris got into an argument with him, and then he got fired right afterwards.
Doing my Yankee imitation, and he's like, and this guy.
We could do 10 podcasts about this guy, but we're not going to. But we could do a lot.
Well, we'll talk about the penny throwing incident some other.
Yeah, that's a nice one. That's
the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I didn't find it to be a very. Oh, what I passed by on the way back on 41 was that weirdo bookstore that you and I and Drake went to that time.
Oh, boy, no! What weirdo? On 41?
On 41.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Overpriced.
I was looking for the Doc Savage paperbacks and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, overpriced guy. Yeah. It's one of those stores where you go in and he has some prices, but you say, "Do you have, like, say, Doc Savage book?" Yeah. Oh, I need this one. How much is it? $15. And I'm like, oh God, really? He would just come up. Well, if you buy more, I'll give you a better price.
But,
I don't like
we should
that.
go.
I don't like that.
Joy was Joy, Drake, and myself.
Yeah.
We were in that great, massive bookstore in Jacksonville. That was pretty
that's
impressive.
a big one.
That's probably
And the
why
prices there were pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Quite good, actually.
That's probably why they're still in business. You know,
Yeah.
that guy. His story was that that store was just his dad's,
father's,
and he just
and he
probably pays.
passed.
It looked like it was a converted house to a bookstore.
It's strange. I don't like.
Did you go in again? Or
No, it was closed.
Yeah.
It's kind of like out of the blue. Here we are.
And it was open on appointment, right? You had to set up an
I think he
appointment
had
for him.
hours, half a day hours of Saturday.
Even weirder than him. What about the dude here?
Oh, the
Ray, whatever
he
his
was like
name
a
is.
child molester.
Yeah,
Cool.
that guy.
There's a guy who's just some weirder. I don't know if he's still alive.
I found his
He was like,
bookstore.
he was always like, "Hi, how you guys doing?" And he was crazy. You would go there, he would have comics, worthless comics, almost hanging by like a bobby pin with the bag. He would put it in the plastic bag. He would stick the bobby pin in the bag and then put it on a chain. It would be hanging
Yeah, I can picture
like
it.
an old Archie comic that's worth about $2. I have some interest in this. How much is? That one's $13.75. It's like, what are you talking? It's not worth that kind of money. What are you talking about? He goes, "Oh, man, that's okay. If you have something to trade with me, you can give me $3 and give me something else to trade. I want to trade. I'm Ray the Trader." Remember?
I called him up.
Initially, he was in Gainesville, and then he migrated down.
The one that we went to, the big one place.
It's not big. It's just weird. Young people singing.
I called him up and I saw these signs that open on these days. So I called him up one of the days they were supposed to be open. There was nobody there. And I call up. I go, "Excuse me, ma'am. You're supposed to be open today. I'm here waiting outside." And the lady screamed at me, "Who told you we were supposed to be open? Why are you here?" And I'm like, "See ya." I was right outside. I go, "I'm right outside your door." You know, I'm like,
I've noticed that in the areas where I'm high interest in comic book and music, the most normal people in the old days were not involved in the comic and record business. Some of the biggest misfits ever were involved in that business. Of course, I was involved in that business, and Al was too. So there you go. Here's my point.
what about that other one that we went to? We both bought comics. This guy. It was in where I live, Largo. Remember Comics and Critters? It was half comic shop and half like pet store, and the store smelled like lizards or whatever.
Oh,
And then in the
That's
back,
so gross.
there was people playing role-playing games.
that's still
No,
the
that's
biggest thing.
long gone. They quit.
Role-playing game is still the biggest
Yeah,
thing going.
yeah.
I don't even know the first thing. Well, I got tabletop football, but I created that myself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Comics and Critters. Yeah.
So we were the family, the three of me and my wife, and we have a very normal heterosexual marriage. And our son, Drake. So we all three went down there. And it was, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably about a 4.
That's low.
Huh?
That's how you.
That's low. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have a great time. I was tired, and we're taking your car, which is fine, but it just was not. I keep getting disappointed when I go out. I'm getting this compound mentality where what I want to do, I want to create a compound with Joy and I, Drake, Val, and anyone else that's friendly flag wants to join our compound, and we order everything, we bring everything to us, and we hunker down and we enjoy life until World War III hits.
There you go.
But I don't know. I like going out, but I don't like going out too far because I keep getting disappointed. But I will tell you this much: within the foreseeable future, because I've heard so many great things about it. Al can go with us if he wants. We're going to take Highway 200 all the way west until we hit the county line, and we're going to go to what's called Stump Knockers. Stump Knockers. That's supposed to be good. And you can see when we were coming home, we drove by
there's
it. It was popular.
water in front of the water.
It's a swampy area, but it was very busy. And I remember Dad, rest his peace. He always loved the fried mushrooms. So
And
that's what they're famous for, and good sandwiches were. I can even
they're
taste them
famous
anyway.
of fried catfish too.
So
Mom and Dad
We could do a show about all the bookstores and comic shops that we've been to. Maybe we will one day because we got a million stores which we have to like make, nicer than they really are. But that's a whole different record stores too, Mister. If we don't have it, you don't need it. That guy, all these places are gone. So
yeah,
all these places are gone.
and most of the people are probably gone too.
Most of the people are gone too.
We're not getting any younger. It's hard to think that I am going to be 63 in September,
Wow.
and
And I'll be.
And I will be.
You'll be a young girl.
I will be 3'3".
3'3", 4'3". But I got a good story about Joy. When I brought Joy down from,
No, don't do that because I have to make a content
you know
about
the one about the
what?
The-
No, don't
you
do
want to
that.
save that?
No, I
Okay,
have
that's
to save
a
that
story for
one.
later. All right, so anyway, Alex used to traipse up and down that region.
Yeah, many times, and stopped at many places and ate at many.
Yeah.
There was another comic shop. Getting back to comics, that was further down south, and it was called. It was called Wonder Water. And
Wonder Water?
Yeah. Here you go. It was half comic shop and half they sold bottled water.
Oh, my.
Even bottled water?
I don't remember the story, but it's
But
like.
that's how it became
But
Wonder
I think they
Water.
started as water, and then they got into comics, and they sold.
Well, remember the
Oh.
one that we went to in Palm Beach County with my cousins? It was
Past, Present, and Future, was it?
no. That's a music store. That one night they had piles and piles of the same comic, unbagged. They were none of them were impressive comics, but they were relatively recent.
Yeah.
In West Palm Beach,
I remember
when
now.
my particular one cousin was moving up here, and it was all, as I recall, it was tons of mostly pretty worthless comics, some music, and a porn shop.
Oh my God.
And we didn't, we were like, this is the weirdest combination. We didn't really hang out in the naughty area very much, but we did go inside the building, and we're like, what is this place,
And then one day we'll talk about video stores too. Another lost thing that we used to go to a lot, but that'll be for another show. All the video stores that we went to. That was another one that a lot of them were run by misfits or people that were like, people like, we would go to Spanish areas, and my friend and I would go in, and they go, this movie in Spanish, and I'm like, yeah, I speak Spanish, and my friend was like, okay, and they sometimes they wouldn't rent to us because you had to be living in the neighborhood in order to rent because.
So that it's easy for them to track you down.
Exactly.
And then you return.
They come to your house and
my cousin, they would ask in the Philippine shop because he's a white boy. Why are you interested in this? Oh, I like it.
And he wrote a book about it too.
Yes, he did.
He must have reviewed like over 600 movies.
Oh, I have to
Once again, here you go.
Here's again the books that we're talking
Cinema
about.
of the Philippines.
Available.
It's very interesting, especially to those people that haven't, like, for example, for me, I grew up in a household that we
In the
don't
province.
and far away from the civilization. We have to walk like kilometers of walking.
This is straight.
I can't even explain how hard those when we were young, especially we have to walk because there's no car. And also part of our transportation back then, in my days, my grandmother, we have horse,
Wow.
Yeah, we travel by horse, but I normally don't
That's
like
amazing.
normally I don't like riding in a horse because it hurt your butt
Yeah, I bet it
for like
does.
hours and hours on the at the back of the horse. So I rather walk. And that back then my uncles, they're the one really I go with them. The the company us to go to the city. That's what I want to say. But
So you,
now it's really everything is transformed because of the high technology now, and and those area very remote area now they have easy access for everything. I can say.
you have an interesting story. You should tell it one day if you
Yeah,
ride around horses and
someday,
stuff
yeah,
like
someday
that.
I will make a memoir of Mary Joy Tinapa Okelon.
The story of my life.
The story of my life. That would be so interesting, and probably some of you guys listening out there might be crying and can relate to my life. You know,
Well,
it's like a
Tough
whole
life.
movie. It's a
Tough
whole
life,
movie.
Actually, when I introduced her to my parents and she told some of the stories, my dad teared up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think my mom did too.
No, I have to keep that story
I know.
for later.
for your
Anyway,
book.
so crazy stuff. I didn't really enjoy driving there, but that doesn't mean I'll never go that area again. Of course I will, but I just won't look forward to it.
Well, you've been to Orlando, you're Jacksonville. You went down to, you went way west out to what, to a beach way out west one time?
Yeah, St. Augustine.
That's not.
That's a
east.
Georgia.
The west. Didn't you go to a beach and you have pictures of it? You went to some beach town down
well,
there
we went to
and ate like a
Pickles
crab
Islands.
sandwich or something like that.
Oh, Cedar?
Cedar Key.
Cedar Key. That's just a little bird, a little tiny
I
island.
thought it's a big. You
West,
drive all the way straight all the way there, and there, boom.
it's west, somewhat west of Gainesville, but a little bit further south of Gainesville. And that's a real nothing place.
You've been to Daytona, right?
Oh, many times.
Yeah,
Many times.
that's not more of a bigger town. Right?
Yeah, with Daytona, you feel like you're in Miami Beach. It's this big, tall
Oh yeah.
hotels.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and then from there you creep up to St. Augustine if you want to.
Did you ever go to the NASA where they shoot off those rocket
When I was a
ships?
kid, I don't have very much interest in it now.
Yeah. Right.
We might go there
The
because
area that we haven't been to, that they've not been to at all, and I have been to forever, is the Panhandle. West of Tallahassee. I do have relatives.
I went through the Panhandle when I was going to Alabama.
Yeah, you went through recently, but I've not been there for many years, and
Yeah. So you guys do your family outings and you're adventurous. Let's put it that way. And you eat adventurous foods too, especially that guy right there.
Drake loves to eat weird.
What is it?
Let me list.
I think that's typical for half Filipino, half American kid.
Let me.
The Filipino part.
Can I list off a few of the things?
Yes. Let me throw your face in there.
All
Yes,
right.
you want to sit right here next to me?
So here's all the interesting things I've ate.
Eat.
Eating.
Eating.
So
I
there's
yes.
Eating.
um
Gator tail
gator tail. Yeah, that's a few
That was
days.
okay.
with hot sauce
A lot of hot sauce.
with burning tongue.
I eat a lot of hot food. I times I'll start to sweat from the amount of hot food I'll eat in a one dose.
We are in Walmart.
Oh.
We're at Walmart, and he got those free sample stuff, and he got a hot sauce, and he drank all
Oh
that.
yeah, I heard about that. Crazy.
It was
Sit on your mother's lap.
all right. There was there's these things called friosks.
No.
There's these things called friosks at Walmart, and they'll dispense samples. And I have the friosk app on the phone here, and I got the barcode and I scanned it, and I got a little thing of Tabasco sauce, and I plucked out the cork and drank it. I sucked it clean. Nothing else.
And then he said, "Mom, I want to get something to drink."
Yeah, I bet.
My tongue is burning. I don't.
Well, when you eat hot sauce, milk type.
At Murphy's, you were like, "Oh my God, I feel hot now here." And I go, "Yeah, well, you just drank like all this hot sauce." Of course. And my tongue is swollen. And I'm like, well,
You're crazy.
it was like, okay. Well, you survived though. So if it doesn't kill you, it'll just make you stronger, right?
I suppose.
I've eaten a lot of squid, a lot of squid and octopus.
Yummy.
At times I'll eat. I went to a Chinese buffet a few days ago, like last month.
A
couple weeks ago. And I got a big plate of crawfish, octopus, and oysters, and they're like little small, tentacles of the head and everything. Octopus, and
sounds delicious.
And I ate it. I've also I calamari and also unbreaded squid tentacles. Steamed, yeah, steamed.
I wish I took a video of you eating those.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, Alva would like this.
My friend one time went to a Chinese restaurant and ate seaweed.
Oh, see,
I love
okay.
seaweed.
But it was sticking out of his mouth, like it looked like, I don't know. I told him, is that coming out or going in? Because it was just like this big batch of seaweed.
I can't stand that stuff.
He loves it.
I seaweed that's in like paper form, like kind of like paper almost.
Tastes like garbage.
Does it really?
No, it tastes.
It's good, It's some.
He doesn't like it because it's kind of like fish. It's like in fish
It
skin.
tastes fishy. Okay, I didn't know.
It's from the sea, so
Yeah.
it tastes fishy. So what else? I've ate wing. I scarfed down a whole thing of wings in Alabama and inside the sauce was no, it wasn't Alabama, but I forgot where. But I scarfed down a thing of wings that
Is
were
it Alabama or Georgia? Probably, I guess.
yeah, and I scarfed down a thing of wings and there's ghost pepper in the sauce.
Jeez.
I've ate 5 really spicy peppers and put them all in my mouth and swallowed it. I eat a lot of hot chips. I eat a lot of spicy chips.
Is there anything you don't eat? Is there anything that you refuse to eat?
He doesn't
bugs.
like papaya.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll eat papaya. I won't eat bug. On rare occasion, I might eat
Oh,
Bug?
you don't like Mexican food very much.
I don't like.
You don't like Mexican food? Okay.
I don't like it at all.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't think I would eat bugs. I'll try it. I'll try.
Well, you got
it.
plenty of them outside there. You got some
No,
crickets out
they
there.
they will sell that FYE in like museums, right? They sell little boxes of crickets and they're like flavored.
What about like the ones that they put chocolate on the ants? Would you eat that? Chocolate covered ants?
Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
some
I
different,
seen that. It's so.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I've never tried any bugs. I did once. I went to
You did eat that crickets, fried crickets.
not crickets. No. It was a lollipop right from a museum that I got, and inside the lollipop was a worm.
Mhm.
Fried one.
And I eat a lot of steak, but that's not very weird, is it?
Well, the description of this video is not going to be accurate if we don't get moving.
No.
We have to keep moving now.
But it was interesting.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Of course, we're going from the world's one of the most adventurous eaters to me, the person who eats like the same
Yeah,
thing
Al
over and
doesn't
over
like
again.
cheese. You
I'll
don't
eat this.
cheese.
I just eat comfort food. I'm not adventurous in my
You just
eating.
eat very little vegetables and very little fruit.
Because number one, I would hate to go to a restaurant and eat something and not like it, and then number two, I would hate to go over somebody's house and them giving me something and go, oh, I don't like it. I felt like it feels uncomfortable.
Al is basically your classic meat and potatoes guy, but
Yeah.
with a lot of he loves desserts.
And I love my Cuban food too.
Yeah,
So
I love Cuban food.
Anyway, what was the next topic?
Well, I'm 62. I'm going to be 63 in September. I got very fed up with my job, I've been in the medical field for nearly 20 years, and I've just had it. I've had enough. I have not signed up yet, but I expect to take early retirement with Social Security. That doesn't mean I'm going to not do anything. I still want to earn money, but I want to earn it with my own projects and my own way. I never expect to have to wonder if I'm going to be able to get a day off because I'm the boss. I'm not going to miss any more Christmases or 4th of Julys or whatever I want. Tonight, if I was still working, I would have to get a slide off special, and I didn't request it. But now I don't have to worry about it. If any of my friends that from my old work are there, anyway, yeah, so it's a brand new thing for me. I love being retired. The sense of, as I said, I'm going to do some projects to make money, but I don't think I'm going to call anyone boss anymore, except myself. Well, all the time. But other than her, there's no getting around that. But, well, Kari, the rest of it. But I always know I'm going to have whatever days off I want. They're mine to have. All the holidays. I do what I want. My life.
You have to do laundry.
Yeah.
Clean the
just
house,
explained
cut the
that to them.
grass.
But other than that, my life after decades belongs to myself. And it's a great feeling. And all those idiots that I worked for.
Don't say that.
I'm not talking about, not you guys, the ones, you know who you are, but the idiots. They weren't all idiots. Anyway, I'm so glad to be freed from you people. It's great to be on my own, away from these incompetent institutions. They think they know some things, they know nothing because they never get down there on the floor and do the work. It's all from the ivory tower. Oh, I can see it. Hell. You don't know jack nothing until you get down there and do it. Don't tell me. I know. All right. So this is for example. Tonight, I watch. There were no bad words in that diatribe.
No, there weren't.
There weren't.
No, there weren't.
There were no bad words.
A little anger.
This is my advice for you guys.
Little bit.
If you guys are planning to go to a medical school, to those young people out there that planning to go to medical school, don't think about money. Because if you're thinking about money, the money that you're going to earn, yes, there's money to it. But of course, think first that you are compassionate towards people, because you're going to be taking care of a patient that they cannot do stuff.
I was able to deliver compassion to my patients on a one-on-one basis. The corporate was able to deliver compassion in their pamphlets. Huge difference. Good at talking or writing, not so good at delivering.
It's business after all.
But when you are the face-to-face person, that's when you deliver the compassion and the empathy. The corporations just talk, we put patients first. That's what it says right here in the booklet. Okay. Anyway, tonight is something I look forward to every year. I don't know why, but I'm far from the only person. This is a U.S. national obsession with some people in the population. National Football League draft, when they bring in their new players coming out of college, the most highly rated players. I love football. I love my team, my Dolphins. They're not going to get to have a pick until the second day because of some trades that were made and so forth. But what I really like about the draft is just the strategy between the teams, the machinations, the trades. the anticipation, this guy at this position, blah, blah, blah. It's just very interesting and different from anything else you'll ever see. And especially the first night, I enjoy all the hubbub about it. And I made Al Val become this much of a fan, at least. He likes to watch it.
I was always a fan, but I remember we were talking before. They used to like when the teams used to draft. The newspaper used to like have the next day they would grade the players, and that used to always piss me off because it was like, really, that's your opinion, huh? And then what happens is they draft guys, and they might get good grades, but who knows what they're going to be
Well,
like?
you know what they say?
know?
Opinions are like ear holes.
Yes.
Everybody has two of them.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Some
but
people will not get along because of their opinions. They have different
But
opinions.
you know what's the thing I think it's so ridiculous when you're making a point about something you believe in. People go, "Well, that's your opinion." It's like, yeah, that's why I'm the one stating. Of course, it's my opinion. Who else's opinion would it be?
But the draft is really. I mean, there are a few players that are going to come in and they're probably going to be really good, but it really is a crapshoot.
Yeah, you really don't know if a given. See, a full draft for an NFL team is 7 picks.
Or
So,
more if you trade. You can get more.
but let's say in the standard form it was 7. It used to be like 12.
It used to be 12, and then it was 16 a long time ago.
Yeah, but right these days it's 7. So you look at the 7 players. Chances are 3 of them will not even make the team. So now you're left with 4 players, and of those 4 players, it's going to take probably 3 years to determine whether or not unless they're a superstar and they take off. That's rare. But probably about 4 years, when you look back in time, you go, well, the draft of 2022, now that it's 2025, we can see that it was not very good because only 1 player made an impact, or it was quite good because 3 out of 4 made an impact, or it was great because all 4 players really contributed to the team.
And that's rare. That's rare when you get 4 great players, 4 starters in one draft. It happens.
The Dolphins picks of 2019, I think, have done quite well, and most of them have contributed. So we'll see what happens. It's just fun for me.
I enjoy. We also do the draft.
Oh yeah.
Online, there's a program where you draft players.
Yeah,
and it gives you the fun of trading and picking players and seeing who maybe your team could be getting. But the reality is, you don't know what's in the mind of the guy, the general manager who picks the players. He could be looking at a completely different group. But the machines that we use, the programs that we use, ratings are by like scouts.
Yes.
Or whatever, but they may not be the scouts that your team uses.
I think that when it's all over, this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Right.
When it's all over Saturday night, we all done.
And then free agency after that.
Well, more free. We've been in the free agency period.
Free agency of college guys. Remember?
Oh, that's free agents coming into
After they pick the 7 rounds, then teams are free to go
after guys who are
anybody.
not drafted to come in and try out anyway.
Or they just give them a contract.
Yeah, that's called unsigned or soon to be signed free agents.
Yeah.
Undrafted free agents.
Yeah, undrafted free agents.
Free agents. So.
And it's become a spectacle now because it used to be just in the newspaper.
It's pretty kind of big now.
And then with that Mel Kiper guy in the 80s, he started making it like a big deal.
Remember who Mel Kiper's contemporary was? Joel Bushbaum.
Joel Bushbaum, yeah.
Rest in
But
peace.
Kiper was more like slick. He looked like a cool guy with hair.
Joel was like
a nerd.
Joel, yeah.
He was like Joel.
He was like, "Hello, I'm Joel Bushbaum," and I live for the NFL draft. I scout these players all year long, and you can buy my guide for $19.95, and you can check it out. He was a little nebbish who lived in his mother's basement, and year round he was scouting these players based on scouting reports. He didn't see them himself.
Well, he was on a show one time. Some guy used to have a show in the 80s called Chet something or other from Chicago, and he was on there, and Chet would ask him, "How do you know all this stuff?" And he goes, "I watch films all the time." And I'm going like, "What films are you watching?"
I don't know how you have access.
I don't know how you would have access to all these college films.
This is way before the days.
But he wrote
ESPN
the book, and I think Kiper was after him. I think Bush.
Probably contemporaries,
but Kiper got on ESPN with Chris Berman and all that, and he made himself to be. He's still on now,
Hmm.
And then he got into that fight with the Colts guy, with Bill
That was
Tobin.
infamous, yeah.
And then that even made him more famous because they got, who are you to tell me who to draft? You've never drafted anybody in your life.
Are you familiar with the routine that Frank Caliendo did with Kuiper's buddy, the other guy, his
No.
current buddy? I'll have to show it to you on YouTube. It's hilarious.
No.
Where he goes, what is the guy's name? Oh man, this is gonna
I
kill
can't
me.
think of
I'll have to
it.
show you. Where he says, Joe, no. And he does a perfect imitation of
Yeah, they get into, when you watch the show, there's a drama because they get into fights on the stage sometimes, and then they keep fighting about why wasn't this player drafted?
They criticize the picks.
The picks, yeah.
Why would you pick that guy? You've already got this guy, the other guy. What you really need is this guy.
Especially Kuiper. Kuiper goes, that's a bad pick. I should have picked this guy. And then you get a player like Marino and/or Aaron Rodgers who's like, why isn't he being picked already? And then he gets picked late in the first round, and finally he gets picked, and then the guy becomes a superstar.
Yeah.
It's
the opposite.
drama.
Ryan Lee, very high pick, and was a total
and Manning.
bomb.
Yeah,
Total bomb.
it was either that was with the Colts that year. They could either pick Leaf or Manning, and they picked Manning because Leaf was like a total mess up.
Now he's mature.
He's mature.
I've seen him, and
he's calmed down.
He's gained some wisdom through his years. So.
What's the sport in the Philippines? Is soccer?
Basketball.
Soccer and basketball is very big.
Okay.
And volleyball.
Okay.
It's both women's and.
But soccer is like all over the world, right? The World
Yeah.
Cup and all that stuff, So that's like the biggest. But the biggest one is the Super Bowl, I think. But some people say it's the World Cup. I don't know.
Yeah, in the Philippines, basketball is the big thing.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess this.
I don't follow basketball much, but there's
No,
there's this kid on the Memphis Grizzlies. This kid, J.A. something or other. I'm sure a lot of people out here who will eventually see the video know what I'm talking about. The NBA is in their playoff period right now, and I don't follow it, but I gotta say this kid is impressive. He literally looks like he can defy gravity at times. He's just amazing. It's amazing to watch.
So do the Filipinos, do they come to the United States to play too, or just the Philippines?
No. It's just inside the Philippines.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if some of them were so good that they could come over here.
No.
Yeah, they're not very tall.
You know the ones, the foreigners who
are shooters. They're probably good shooters.
The Eastern Europeans.
Oh yeah.
The Eastern Europeans, like
from
Estonia, and Yugoslavia, that kind of thing. Some of those guys make it over here.
Okay, I was just wondering,
Yeah.
But sports is a weird thing and becomes real tribal. I mean, me and Chris and I, we got into fights about Dolphins and Colts, except that the Colts would be losing most of the time.
It's been decades since we did.
We used to actually really get angry.
We were direct rivals.
Well, you get angry.
I used to, but I've outgrown that now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the way that I handle it now is I don't watch the game.
Yeah, you don't watch the game.
Well,
you saw me that one time a couple of years ago where I jumped up and got mad at the Colts for calling a stupid play in your house. I did it here in your living room there. Anyway, you forgot, but I got mad. I go, you stupid idiot.
Well, yeah, you got pretty excited, but when I was younger and I'm going to the games with my dad, I mean, I was out of control. I didn't like the fans of the other teams coming to the Miami Stadium. I talk about New Yorkers and Buffalo Bills.
That happened.
Go back to your own stinking.
No, and then one time you told me that you said something and your dad was like, "Am I gonna have to fight this guy because you were saying something to him?"
So
Dad just loved him,
The problem is when you're young. My problem was too close of an ego identification with the team. So if the team gets their butt kicked, you feel like you got your butt kicked. And if you're victorious, you feel like you just accomplished something. I showed you we were going to win. Oh! You had nothing to do with it, Chris.
My intensity about it was when I was a kid. I was a Colts fan, and I was living in a Dolphin town, and it was it was during the years when they didn't lose
when
hardly
the
at all.
Dolphins were great.
And you wear your hat?
No, I didn't wear my hat, but they knew I was a fan, and the Colts were pretty bad, and I just. Hey, Mr. Colts, how did you do this week? And I'm like,
Yeah, there was a time there where the Dolphins not only beat the Colts, but they shut them out like 3 times in 2 years.
Yeah, the Colts were pretty bad.
But right in the beginning of the 70s, it was
It
neck
was,
and
it was
neck.
good. It was neck and neck. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
it was like
Once Unitas left, the team went downhill.
Yeah.
And then they got back a few years later. But
Then you got Burt Jones and
they got
sort of
good.
ascending
They got good,
again.
and then he got hurt. But anyway, to be a Colts fan in Dolphin Town, it was like you were like the
It's a
evil
Dolphin
intruder.
color,
You know what I
basically.
mean? It was like people were painting their houses aqua and
Like a
orange.
Jack's color.
And and these guys were superstars. And I told you the story that when I was a kid, I went to a school, and next to the school was where those 72, 73 Dolphins practiced.
Yeah.
And I went over there because we had to wait an hour to get the next bus, and I had their autographs. And I didn't even like the guys, but I got their autographs, and I kicked myself for getting rid of them because I had all the big players: Shula, Zonka, Kick, Warfield. But I just didn't care.
It's still one of my dreams. I still hope today that I get to meet Larry Zonka. Chances of him ever seeing
He lives
this
in
video.
Alaska, right?
Huh?
Lives in Alaska.
He. My understanding is he lives in Alaska, but he has property in Ohio, where he's from, and he also, I don't know about now, but he owned a restaurant somewhere along the Atlantic coast in Florida. So he may still be involved in that too. So I think he still splits his time between Florida, Ohio, but mostly in Alaska.
So yeah, we're football crazy. Even though some of our contemporaries hate the NFL.
Yeah, well, I don't like the politics of the NFL, but I can't break myself from loving the game.
Yeah, you got to have at least some sport to enjoy. I don't have any other sport that I enjoy anymore.
Yeah, I love college football and NFL football.
Too,
I can appreciate things like I can watch the 7th game of the World Series. That's the only one, just one game that really matters.
Mm-hmm.
And once in a while, I can watch some college basketball, and I saw some snippets of the pro basketball game, and I was pretty amazed by some of the highlights. But I'm not gonna. I don't have time to get interested in this. 82 NBA games a year, 163 Major League Baseball games a year, only 17 NFL games a year. So, and like 10 to 12, 11, 12 college games, unless you make playoffs.
And then playoffs.
So that's enough.
That's
enough. It just sucks your time, but hey, it's fun.
So anyway, that's our football
fanaticism. Wrapping up on our end now, we're going to get prepared to actually watch the draft. It's going to be less than half an hour from now.
And I'm going to sleep because I have to work late.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, but I have to make it like into an hour exactly. I have like 8 more minutes to go.
We're going to see you. Al and I will see you, God willing, in 2 weeks, and we'll talk about something very specific at that time.
We got to do 8 more minutes. So
yeah, 8 more minutes.
So you can carry the ball.
You can talk about something.
Well, I mean,
talk about something, anything.
Okay, yeah, something, anything is a really good record, but it's not my favorite.
Like the stuff that we're gonna talk about next live stream.
Well, we haven't worked it out yet, but
we can talk about either comic stores, bookstores, video stores.
We're going to talk about golden age of horror movies.
That's good too.
Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, that's good too. We can talk about that. If anybody out there wants us to talk about or has a topic that they think may be interested, let us know. We'll talk about it. If you like old horror movies and comics and videos and music and
we should give them something to look at so that they will be they know where we're talking about, like the creatures
from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, if you guys are not,
you can link a trailer on.
If you guys are not familiar, I have to figure it out.
Wait to it's about an hour long. An hour's worth of Universal horror trailers.
Universal horror trailers.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube probably, right? It's on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You're the bigger Universal fan. I love Universal, but like I told you before, it's like when I saw these movies, I was expecting to be scared out of my pants, and I wasn't. But I appreciated them because they were well done movies as opposed to a lot of the cheesier ones. But then it turns out that the crappier ones are some of the ones that I like better because they're just so crazy or whatever. The Universal movies, they had their craziness, but they were pretty straightforward. I mean, I'm not saying all of them. Some were pretty wacky, but Now, let me ask you a question, and maybe you know it. Maybe we'll talk about it next time. I mean, I know there was a buyout, but what happened when Universal became Universal International? Do you know about that?
Yeah, they were bought out. The Limley family was out of the picture then.
Oh, so Lemley quit. Okay.
Yeah, Limley Senior died, and then Limley Junior, I believe, got sick. Was pretty young.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
he
know the
got
story.
After World War II, the idea of a human-sized monster really causing a lot of havoc seemed kind of ridiculous.
They'd already done so many sequels.
And you had the bombing in Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, with the atomic weapons. So people, and of course all the horrible things of the war, the mass bombing in Germany and the concentration camps that the Nazis had and so forth, all the mass brutality on both sides. And so people really knew what true horror was at that time. So they weren't going to be spooked by some stitched together tall person or by an old mummy come back to life. Or
So then the Lemley family
even
sold
a vampire.
to
So,
International.
Before you knew it, the new monsters were like supposedly in Japan and America,
Godzilla.
the results of the
Nuclear
atomic
testing.
world, those giant insects. If we're going to get scared,
The
it's got to be
Colossal
something
Man.
big. Yeah, so that's when you got into the sci-fi. And people were also wondering what's out in the sky, the UFO scares and all this.
Yeah.
So people were seriously wondering, are there other alien life forces out there, and are they hostile towards us? What would happen if a praying mantis became the size of a building?
Yeah.
There's a couple out there that are pretty big.
And
all these things. But eventually the monsters cycled back around, even in the 50s.
When they got released on television.
Yeah. So the creature was the next classic
From the 50s,
Universal creation. But even vampires and even mummies and werewolves came back in the second half of the 50s, thanks largely in part to Hammer, of course.
Did you see any of these movies? Nothing?
no.
But let me ask you this is interesting. Even today, 2022, if you show a 4-year-old kid a picture of
They
Frankenstein,
know who it is.
he knows who it is just as much as he knows who Santa Claus is.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, let me ask you, when you were a little girl, if they showed you the classic Frankenstein with the flat head, when you were 6 years old, do you think Frankenstein? Do you think you may have said that?
No.
No?
Because
in this country, you definitely, even today, it's
yeah.
like that.
Because but as I told you, back home we did it. Oh my God, my parents didn't even know.
Maybe in Manila they would have known.
There was no movie theater.
In Manila they would have known who that guy is.
In Manila, yes.
Frankenstein.
Especially rich kids, because they are, they have all those old type.
Yeah, they had
televisions, yeah.
television. They had movie theaters. They were living in a city.
How about
Yeah.
Superman?
You knew Darna,
Yeah, Darna, that's all I know, and Superman.
and you had comic books, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had an idea of what it was, but
Didn't really click in until I'm here and adult, and Chris is introducing it to me.
you never even saw it before that.
Mm-mm,
Huh?
no.
You never saw Frankenstein before? Chris?
No.
She didn't know about Frankenstein before she met him?
I was introduced by my employer back then.
Right,
With
right,
some,
right.
like they used
This is
to,
Frankenstein.
the kid that I taking care of.
Yeah.
He
liked
loves
it.
to watch.
Creature feature, monster movie.
No, he don't love watch those. He loves Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
When he was tiny baby, he likes to watch the robots like Voltis 5,
Yeah.
the anime thingy.
Anime.
Yeah, so that's how I get introduced by, and also what he loves to watch. He loves to watch all those
Yeah.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, as I remember,
Disney movies.
he would
also.
watch that over and
So that was the
over and
first
Well,
time
over.
you
that's
saw
because
all that.
you played it a lot for him.
No, he's the one who Ate Joy. I would like to watch both Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He loves this dancing
The
thing.
flying car or whatever.
Yeah, so that's how I get first introduced
Oh my
with
God,
from them.
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah.
Joy, you know the guy in Chitty Chitty Bang? It sounds dirty.
Is that like Dick Van Dyke?
He's still
Yes,
alive.
Dick. Oh yeah, Dick Van Dyke. Yes,
He's still alive, yeah.
He's about
and
93.
Mary Poppins, Annie. What else that he loves to watch? Gilligan's.
Gilligan's Island.
Oh,
Yeah, Gilligan's Islands. He
Gilligan's
loves to watch
Island, yeah.
those. What else he loves to watch? Oh,
Yeah, so
Drake and Josh, the Nickelodeon shows. I would sit there and watch with him whatever he loves to watch.
So when you lived in the Philippines, you never had a TV.
We don't own TV until late. Even now, they're still struggling to have TV.
Okay. That's crazy.
Oh my
you know,
God,
but I
that's
mean,
how-
I understand.
Yeah, that's how kinda, because the money that we got is just enough to buy food.
Yeah, right, to survive. Yeah,
Whatever
I get it,
necessities.
yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, we here were born with that. When we were little kids, it was like in the air. You know, everywhere you looked at, there was.
And my parents, they are
Frankenstein.
not really educated to those kind of stuff. They're Mika love shout out, sis Jency Cades. Thank you so much, sis. Yeah, my parents are not really, they're really, they born really in the countryside.
Yeah,
That they
I get
didn't
it.
not exposed to everything.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's crazy.
All they know is farming, how to take care of the animals, how to work in the farm. That's all they know. Yeah, my father, he was in army also. When I was like 2 to 3 years old, that's where he started to be in army. And then our life is just like jump. When you are in a family, if your father is in the military, you are not gonna stay in one place.
Oh, you might have moved around.
We move around.
Oh,
So that's why.
interesting.
Until my
Wow.
father died when I was 6 years old.
Oh,
And yeah, we never stay in one place. That's why until my father died, we don't have anything.
wow.
And
okay.
then until my grandmother took us back to live with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's
Yeah, that's a complete different life. you know?
yeah, and I remember when we got to when my father died. This is like my life, but not the whole story of my life. So my mother's grandmother, she took us again to their place where they live. That's where in Bacolod City. So that's how I started knowing that there's such television,
I get
because
it.
we
I
called
get
it Betamax back then.
Betamax is a video. Yeah.
Yeah, Betamax. And then
Yeah.
we go there in our neighbor's house. Of course, our neighbors would don't like that because we are there outside their,
Watching the.
outside the window, looking at their television, and oh my God, they
Oh,
would
that's
say,
awesome.
"Shoot, go back home," something like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that's how I remember. Our neighbors, they have television, but we don't own television.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really tough. And we didn't even go and watch movies.
You don't go to
Well,
the
now
movies.
you have enough. movies.
I was then, I remember I was like till like 10 years old. We still not can afford to buy, to do all those things,
Yeah.
splurging those things, until I'm like probably when I go back home again to my grandmother, to my father's mom, my uncle. After my grandmother passed away, my uncle, he took us back to my father's brother. He took
Yeah.
us back to my grandmother's, to my father's mom. And back that's like 1994, 1995, I think, as I remember, 1995. So I was like 10 years old, 11 years old. And back home again in the countryside, there's no sixth grade. That time I'm in sixth grade to open the school year. And in the countryside, where's my uncle's wife are their teachers in the property. We have school in the property because my grandfather Tinapo, he was the barangay captain in the village,
Okay.
and part of the property he donated it to the government, and he built the school in the property
Okay.
until now.
Okay.
So yeah, and there's no sixth grade there. So my grandmother said you have to go to the city. So I live with my uncle's house in the
Wow.
city
You lived
along
out-
with my
you-
cousins.
wow.
Yeah, and then that's how I started
Seeing all
seeing all these, new things that I never had when I was young. My
Okay.
cousins and I would go and watch Betamax. There's like, how much is it? Annalyn and I will go, and Mananglan will go to a neighbor. We have to pay. And all the people that doesn't have a Betamax will go there, and
They will make you pay to
Oh,
sit
wha-
and watch a video.
yeah, I remember what kind of movie those we watched. Annalyn and I, we went and watched Schwarzenegger.
Terminator or something. like
Yeah,
that.
and then Tom Cruise. Those are the Hollywood actors that I remember that we seen on the Betamax. And then yeah, that's how I started seeing all these new things, the modern things.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick funny haha about Tom Cruise. I know it sounds self-serving and it's odd, but when he first came out, I was a couple years older than him, so we're similar. I was a lot thinner in those days and a lot younger, and more than one person said, "You do look a little bit like you be Tom
Tom Cruise.
Cruise's brother," And the girl I was dating at the time, we went to the movies a lot. She was a tall, interesting-looking Cuban girl. I won't tell her name, but she we saw a lot of movies, Tom Cruise, and she really liked Rob Lowe a lot. He was her friend boy. But anyway, she goes, yeah. One week, she said, yeah, I do see a resemblance with you and Tom Cruise. It's true. And then some weeks or maybe a couple months later, she said, we were at seeing a Tom Cruise movie. She said, you know what, Tom Cruise, I don't see the big deal. I really don't think he's that good looking.
Bada boom, bada bing.
You punch you in the gut.
I said, but oh well, whatever.
Oh, well.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, each and everyone
Except
Who
for you
are-
over there. You know who you are.
who are there watching. Thank you so much, Sis Jency Gaddis, my member. Thank you for patronizing my channel,
Don't
and
patronize me.
also thank you to my sister Carol Tinapao. Excuse me, and my niece Kay. Thank you,
My knees are killing me.
and also ESF in Blood. Thank you so much, and Sis Gel. Thank you so much for watching from the Philippines. And whoever out there watching our lives today, and for our coming up videos, thank you so much, guys. And also, if you want to be part of my community, you can hit that join button. And coming up, I will have something new on my channel. I'm still working on it. I keep saying that I have something on my channel, but it take a while when you are doing different stuff in your life. I'm busy. I have full-time job, and also I'm trying to transitioning my channel with my husband, and maybe Alval's gonna have his own YouTube channel, and my husband probably is gonna have his own channel also, but with his whatever he loves to do in his in his passion, and because my channel will be just dedicated to my members, and also what I love to do, which is cooking. That's partly my content in this channel. But later on, I'm still thinking to have another channel that would be different kind of content also. And I would like to see you, each and every one of you guys, once all those plans will be sitting up. And that would be awesome if I can see you there with my husband's channel and my friend Alva's channel, and also that what else I can say.
You want people to subscribe to this channel,
Yes.
and you want people to hit the button that tells you when the new videos are all coming out.
Yes.
The bell,
Yes.
the notification bell, and you want to
Yes.
hit the notification button and say every show. That way, everybody gets their show in the
Yeah.
in their YouTube, the little bell on the top there, and they know that
Mhm.
you're on and you got something new going on.
Yes. Yes. I'm still transitioning with something that educational. That's something you guys can get something out of what I posted on my channel. So thank you. All I can say is thank you so much for all of you guys who didn't leave me behind, who are still here. No matter what. I know each and everyone have our own goal, which my goal is to inspire and also do what I love to do, which is cooking and uh, traveling with my family. And it's all about family and showing you guys what kind of what how America look like, and gonna be right now in this main channel. I just like mix it up my content because I'm still trying to figure it out what it works or what is best for my channel. I would like I am collecting organic followers. That's what I'm looking for. So I know who always there on my channel, and of course I consider them my organic family, my organic followers, which all those organic followers later on whatever might happen on my channel might be successful and all that stuff. Of course I'm gonna help my community. That's how I am. We are here helping each other. So thank you so much once again, and see you on my next video. I have a premiere. If you guys, I know it's about spaghetti, but you might get something different from my own recipe and apply it to yours. And also I have another coming up videos, and I have another live stream coming up that's gonna be next week. I'm gonna be off Tuesday next week, so I have my live stream next week Tuesday, and that's gonna about live stream cooking. I'm gonna cook while I'm doing my live. That way I'm not just like sitting down here and then like connect whatever. So thank you so much everyone, and see you on my next video. Bye. God bless each and everyone. Good morning, Philippines, and stay safe and healthy, be productive, and think positive. Bye.
Freedom. Okay.